My second YouTube video. It's not so much about my table saw sled here as it is about accessories for the table saw sled. It was about, I don't know, 15, 18 years ago. I read a woodworking magazine article about our favorite table saw accessory or something. I think was the name of the article. They built a sled for their table saw, and it was a nice looking thing. And in the picture, they had a guy holding his hand right here, running it through the table saw. And in the article, they talked about that you had to remove your saw guards in order to use it. Well, I wrote him a letter. I asked him if those were his favorite fingers that he had hanging over that back fence, and of his favorite accessory. And an aside, I thought, well, it's a perfect opportunity to get a full length guard on your table saw sled. They published the part about the fingers. They neglected to publish the part about the guard. I don't know why. But this is my sled. It's not fancy. It's not expensive. This is an old piece of construction, 5-ply plywood. It's been laying around my shop for years. I couldn't see using anything else. It was dead flat. Nothing wrong with it. Works like a champ. I built the front and the back fence. Got a track here for accessories and for my flip stop. And when I built it, I put these two tracks in. I didn't see any need going all the way to the front with them. And the curve of the saw, the curvature of the saw radius, gave me a place to put my fixtures in. I added these two pieces later, and you'll see why here shortly. First thing I built was a flip stop. I want to talk about these knobs first. I found these on Amazon. They're $1.20. They're nice little knobs. I like them because they're small. They get close to, you can get up close with them and still tighten down enough. They seem to be fairly strong. I have yet to have one fail on me. And they work well. I've just been proud of them. Now, this is my first thing I built with my flip stop. And it's got issues. It's a little bit wonky. But it's a prototype, thrown together quickly. That's a spring hold open and closed hinge that I dug out of the junk bin at work. I'm going to redo it one of these days. I don't know when, but it works good. As an aside, this is not the second thing I built, but this is this right here is 1 bit of read-write memory. If you got your saw stop set up and you need to remove it, flip stop, you need to remove it for some reason, put this up against it, tighten it down, do whatever you need to do, put it back, you're right back in business again. I've never used it, may never need it, but it's cheap insurance to have laying around. This is Shop Fox track, I should have mentioned. Designed to work with 1/4-20 bolts heads. It does do that. I have found that if you take a just a 1/4-inch carriage bolt and grind a couple of flats on the side, it's harder to get it lined up to get it started in the track, but once it is, it slides smoother than the 1/4-20 bolts do. The second thing I built was some clamp stops. But the reason why I built them was this. I found myself using this saw, and I put my workpiece in and line it up with the curve for the blade. And even if my hand is off over here, when I'm pushing it through this blade, I can't see my hand, I can't see the blade, and I can't see the workpiece. This gave me what I call the screaming heebie-jeebies. So I came up with a way to clamp all my workpieces down so I don't have to do that anymore. The first thing I built was this. We'll get into it here in a minute, but this is what I ordered. I found these little clamps on Amazon. Speaking of which, these knobs are, sorry to interrupt, but these are like a bag of 10 for less than $10, for like $8 and change, free shipping, Amazon Prime. I bought 30 of them. I carried a bag of 10 over to my brother's house to see if he could use any of them, and as coincidence would have it, 10 was exactly the number he wanted, which saved me the hassle of breaking up a set and hauling some of them home, so it worked out real good. I found these toggle clamps also on Amazon. Bag of 4 for $12, maybe in change. Made in China. Seem to be pretty good quality, not a lot of slack in them. This is what you get. Made to go be a fixed base position, and a fixed position here, and then a fixed depth here, because it takes a tool to change it, and that's not what I wanted. But I adapted them to what I needed. The first thing I did was attach it to a base. This particular one has a lag bolt, a short lag, I rounded the head over so that it spins freely in the slot. I took some high molecular weight plastic and cut a tenon in a piece to fit up inside here the width, and then I cut it off, leaving a shoulder. Then I took it to my belt sander and ground the ends of it off till it was a press fit in my little 4-inch metal vise, and pressed that up in here and drilled it and tapped it to a 1/4 20. This is a 1/4 20 hex bolt, full thread, with a jam nut. This is a 1/2-inch chair leg protector. It's a good fit on the head of a 1/4 20, and I put a little industrial adhesive in there to hold it in place so it wouldn't fall off. And this is nice. This is my go-to clamp. This is what I use most of the time. Put a piece of workpiece in there to line it up. Bring up your clamp. Adjust it for the thickness. Through, back. My hands are up here, well away from the blade. Never, ever, ever am I going to have to reach down inside here again. I built another one. Sometimes this didn't reach deep enough. This is made, it's a little higher. It will work with thicker pieces. It's got a longer bolt on it, of course, and it's got an adjustment here. But it works the same as the other one, just a toggle stop. Only this one clamps itself down when you toggle it down. This one you clamp it where you want it. Toggle it to clamp your workpiece in. And this right here, I found when I was getting pieces out, the blade's still spinning down, and I didn't want to wait till the blade spun down, so excuse me. I added this little doghouse, little cheap hinge on it, made out of PVC. The blade is always inside my sled, so now when I bring it back the position where I'm working in it, the blade is fully encased by this little doghouse. Okay, back to the guarding aspects of this sled and the opportunity to guard this blade. I found that some people are impatient and don't want to wait till the saw is done spinning before they reach in and start removing work pieces. And since the saw is always inside the sled, even when it's fully back toward me, I built this little doghouse. Got clearance of 1.25 inches or so underneath it. Flips up out of the way if I need it out of the way. But down, it prevents me from getting my workpiece or my fingers into the saw blade while it's spinning down. I could put another hinge piece here that flips down and rests on my front fence here, back fence, if needed. And that way the saw is always guarded and there's nothing coming up into your face off the saw blade. And I may do that. I haven't found it necessary, even though I think it may be doable, because the way I've got it rigged now, my hands are always up here, well away from the blade, both hands on the fence, in and out, full control. I've always got even pressure on my sled, so there's no rocking or twisting of it. I haven't put the codpiece on the back yet, but I like that visual indication that I'm through, and I doubt very seriously if I ever have my fingers anywhere in this area when I'm going through the saw. I did build one more clamp. I went to my local Lowe's hardware store and bought some of this thick 1/4 inch aluminum stock. I couldn't see paying high dollars for a bent piece of aluminum. 6 inches long, come up about 2 inches. Gave it a slight bend. Right there in the bend, kind of toward this side, got a ample relief there so the thing can rock back and forth a little bit. And it works well. It's a nice little clamp. If you really want to dog something down, this will do it. I got enough of this to make, I think, 7 more for less than what 2 of these would cost you if you buy them pre-made. So I told you I would tell you what these tracks were for, but I think I lied to you. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm going to make another video showing some inserts I've made for inside my sled. The other video I've got out right now is one about a Harbor Freight circle cutter. If you do a search for that term, Harbor Freight circle cutter, or mash on my name below this video, it should pop that up. It's a way to modify that circle cutter, inexpensive circle cutter, to where you can cut 6, 8, 10, even probably up to 12-inch circles out of plywood with it. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody, and it won't be long. I'll have another video up. Thank you very much.